Well, y'all, I definitely think it's safe to say that intentions are very clear this episode. and uh yeah, it's every man for himself. And like Paulie said, no one is safe, and I totally agree. Most importantly, though, I want to know what y'all think about this Danielle and Jennifer Aydin situation. Do y'all think that Danielle was so defensive because she got outed? Or do y'all think she was telling the truth? Now, I'm gonna let you know what I think, but I definitely have to save that to the end because there were some things that happened before that. In the meantime, y'all, what is really going on? Was good. I'm Taina. Be here to chat it up with y'all, party it up a little bit, get down about the Real Housewives of New Jersey, season 14, episode number 8. But before I hop into it very briefly, I have got to say to Miss Jamie Benson, I see you. To Miss Sherry Johnson, I see you. Love, love, love the support, guys. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, the depths of my soul. I really appreciate it. Okay. So, with that being said, and don't y'all be shy now, y'all keep coming back. Okay. Show the folks how to do it. But let's go ahead and get into it, y'all, right? Because we definitely don't have time to waste. And I've got enough to say, per usual. Run my mouth. So we start off with Dolores, Teresa, and Jennifer Aydin meeting at a healing center to kind of cleanse themselves. And Teresa advises she's going to be hosting a Tulum themed party in honor of her 50th birthday that she celebrated on vacation when she went to Tulum. On the other side of town, you have Danielle meeting with Melissa at Melissa's store Envy. And so with that, I just kind of extracted a few main points. And so I said, Dolores is doing what Dolores does as it relates to Paulie and his divorce. She's making excuses. And I'm like, we still gonna continue this nonsense from before? Like, wasn't that enough when y'all had lunch together and he pretty much played himself and you sitting there still entertaining him? You just had to keep going with it, Dolores, right? Okay. So she says now that he can't do more than what he's been doing as it relates to, I guess, speeding up the process of the divorce. But I'm like, I'm confused because, again, in the prior episode, you were annoyed that he wasn't doing enough and that he was moving too slow. Okay. So then she fronts hard like she's not really focused on marriage, oh, I'm not really in a rush for marriage. And I'm like, girl, you absolutely are. That's the whole point of this all. That was the point again of the conversation at lunch. But okay, Dolores, whatever you want us to float with, fine. And so I don't think it's a smart move at all for her to go into business with Paulie. I don't know what y'all think about that. But or better yet, it's not wise for her to go into business over marriage, right? Because okay, you can go into business with your significant other, but let's get married first, especially in this instance when Paulie's playing games and he's acting like he's uncertain. I got to know that you're certain first before we go into anything as it relates to my money, okay? Or just money in general, because we know how that can go. But I'll do y'all one even better because to me, from what Paulie has presented in front of the cameras, I don't think she should even marry him at all. I think she should leave Paulie right where he is and keep it moving. The same way that he keeps threatening her, low key with, just ending the relationship in a sense, she needs to just ghost him. I don't know why. I don't know why, but, that Dolores just keeps entertaining this man. But nevertheless, we see even with the threats, like I said, if you fast forward, even from the scene at the gym, like when she's talking about getting this elective surgery potentially, he's just like, oh, well, that's where I draw the line, or whatever he said, kind of like that's a deal breaker for him and that'll be an easy way to end the relationship. And I'm like, again, meanwhile, you were threatening her before, saying that, oh, if you have to rethink this, then almost like that's a problem. And if you don't want to be here, pretty much you can go. So I'm like, that would be enough for me. How many times, like the old folks say, how many times, or no, excuse me, don't let a man tell you more than once that he don't want you. And he's done that a couple of times at this point, Dolores. But okay, you keep going ahead and letting him play in your face. That's your business. We just get to see it so we can speak on it. But we pan back over to Melissa and Danielle. And though Danielle brings up the gift situation, Melissa had to chime in. All Melissa had to do was say, I have no comment. So, how was your day? What's going on with your sales? Anything come about Fashion Week? Or she could have said, that's crazy. And let that be that. And let Danielle change the subject. But no, again, she had to engage. She had to go deeper into why her sister-in-law sent the bottle. And I'm like, man, Teresa will continue to be on this lady's membrane. Y'all can say what y'all want. Act like you don't see it if you want to. And y'all know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to the people that act like Melissa is just this angel here on earth and she can do no wrong. Act like you don't see what she's doing if you want to. But I think instead what I'll do, instead of paying attention to all the times that she does make remarks in comments like underhandedly, I think I'm going to start counting the times that maybe she doesn't indirectly or directly mention Teresa, because maybe that count would be less than what we're getting now. Anyway, so Melissa said the gift was a spectacle. And so then the producers asked, Teresa why she sent the gift. And she said she really didn't want to. It was Louis' idea. I said, well, okay, well, Teresa, there that went, because you pretty much just proved Melissa's point. I can't even front. Because at the end of the day, if it was Louis' idea, we know that Louis does not see it for Joe any more than Joe sees it for Louis. So therefore, Louis is not going to be warm and fuzzy about sending Joe a housewarming gift, right? Like he is not sending no gift. So I'm like, yeah. And then I still want to believe in my heart from the caring place that Teresa's saying, oh, I didn't want to send it because, again, she's hurting and she really misses her brother and knows inside that she wishes it was different. But again, I'll be the fool in the situation. It's fine. And so when Dolores told Teresa that John brought up Gia's name, I just knew that Teresa was going to flip it and lose it and go crazy. But surprisingly, she didn't. She pretty much says John can go F himself, and rightfully so, because who wants anybody bringing up their kid? You know what I'm saying? Sidebar. Again, look how Melissa's in like a just kind of sneaky, like I said, fashion fishing for information about Teresa in her conversation with Danielle, right? She's saying, are you feeling it from Teresa too? Do you think they're upset they're cool with me and Rachel now, or you're cool with me and Rachel now? Like, girl, why do you care? Why do you care? Just like my girl Sherry Johnson said in the comments, pretty much like, Melissa definitely gives off the mean girl vibes and acts like she's coming from a happy place and all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, Melissa, you are a sly fox. Okay? You're a sneaky, sly little fox. And again, we're hip to you. Okay? The ones that see you, see you. And I'm like, the way these folks be lying like the cameras aren't recording them, because then Melissa says Jackie ripped her head off and said, you're just mad at me because I'm friends with Teresa. She did not rip your head off. It wasn't even that deep. It wasn't even that energetic. But okay, girl. So I'm going to say, I'm going to need y'all, right? All of you who can't stand Teresa to come in close on this one and hear me good. Okay? Because did you hear when Dolores and Jackie said, or Dolores said that Jackie's connecting to Teresa so that Teresa can help her sell her book because Teresa is popular. Rewind that back. I said Teresa is popular. Okay? She didn't say Melissa was popular. She didn't say Marge was popular. She didn't say one of the other girls was popular. She said Teresa. Why? Okay? Because nobody likes to, respect the fact that Teresa is the OG. Teresa's been holding it down whether you like her or not. Okay? Jackie knows who carries the torch at the end of the day, and she's playing her cards just in the manner in which she thinks she should. So anyways, it was definitely made obvious that Teresa's MO, or what Teresa's MO with Jackie was and is, right? Because one, she says, who cares about Jackie when Dolores is kind of explaining things? And then two, she states she needs her to expose Margaret. So I said, okay, well, there you go. If there was any more confusion about this whole weird connection with Jackie and Teresa, there you have it, right in your face. This is what we should have gotten from episode 1, but fine, okay, we'll take it now. I know a lot of you are not surprised. a lot of you are like, I knew this all along. We was waiting for you to catch up, and that's fine. I still was in the middle because I'm like, again, I do like to believe that people can change their minds, but I also have expressed and addressed the fact that I know that Jackie is an intelligent woman, and she knows how to move across the board. You know what I'm saying? And she knows what she's doing. And for all y'all out there, again, always insulting my girl and her intelligence and saying how dumb she is, Teresa, that is, well, apparently she's moving in stride too. Okay? It ain't lost on her either what time it is. Anyway, so purging Aydin, Jackie said Margaret is the gatekeeper to the arsenal of secrets. Definitely believe that. And, pretty much that's that on that. So now we go to Marge meeting up with Rachel at her house. And I really didn't care because I'm no longer interested in either one of them. But anyways, couple of things we can pull from that really quickly. So Rachel says Marge is a good person. Meanwhile, the same good person put her good friend on blast last episode. Jackie, that is. This same good person is sitting in Rachel's home talking about her good friend. Jackie, that is. This same good person was talking smack about her good friend Jen Fessler when Jen had a conversation with Teresa. But good luck, Rachel, on your new good friend because you're going to be next. Sidebar, I ask of thee. Why is John Fuda always up in the mix with these ladies? Why? Please, somebody explain to me. If you think it's harmless, then fine. Please let me know why, because I can't see it any other way. I'm like, why is this man around? The last one of the prior episodes, he's on the FaceTime with Rachel and Marge. Now he's standing around in the kitchen with Rachel and Marge. Then he follows Rachel and Marge out back. I'm like, oh my God, like, for y'all who are married, when you have company come over, female company, do your husbands follow y'all around and sit and be all up in the conversation? And I'm not talking about a little quick like, hey, how you doing? Everything good type thing. I'm talking about like he really just is trying to be one of the girls. And I know y'all kind of said that before, but again, it's like I'm noticing it more and more. Like, John, go sit down. Like, it's one thing if Joe was there with Marge, but he wasn't. So it's like, why do you even want to be engaged in whatever they're conversing about? But okay, so anyways, I will say that I hate Rachel's little one is, in discomfort and suffering with what she's suffering with. And I will also say that I pray that everything will be okay with Joe's prostate count, because I know March had gotten upset about that and that being scary. And I can, only imagine obviously making the connection. She lost Jan not too long ago. Then, of course, anytime you think of that just monstrous disease, it takes your mind to negative places automatically. So definitely prayers up for them both. Again, Rachel's daughter and for Joe. So Margaret says that in terms of Jackie and how I guess Jackie kind of went about the last situation, it's just showing a glimpse of that person's character and what they're capable of doing. And I said, oh, really? Oh, really, Margaret? Really? Okay. So, in other words, then what does that say about your character? Because you've given us glimpses more than enough times. Okay. So, what shall we say about your character then, ma'am? Okay. And this is why I can't understand why people are so negative when it comes to Teresa, but those same people go up for Marge. Like, are y'all not paying attention or what? At least I can acknowledge my girl has had some bad behavior. Okay? And on multiple occasions. But y'all act like y'all don't see Marge for what she has going on. Like, just come on, y'all. Like, get real with the reality of things. And just you can still admit that you like her, right, for your reasons. But just please be honest about the fact that Marge is no saint at all. Okay, so anyways, let's just go ahead and skip to the Tulum party. Per usual, forget everything else in between there and sideways, whatever. And so a few of the ladies are gathered, and Dolores says, as it relates to Jackie pretty much having a conversation with her that night about what came out that mouth, or what was texted, I should say, in that message about Dolores being an effing slob. She's like, it's a little too late for a combo, because Jackie had an opportunity pretty much to reach out by then, and she hadn't. And so she also says that, Jackie is an elitist and a classist. What do you guys think about that? What are your thoughts? I'm not really sure how I feel about that. So I can't confirm or deny. Can I see Jackie being that way? Possibly, but I don't know. So you guys school me on that. And did y'all peep how Jackie, when she was talking briefly to Gia, said, "Everyone's obsessed with me and your mom." I was like, oh, Jackie lived in that moment. She loves that idea that she's so connected to the hot girl of the group, right? And again, why? Because Teresa brings in those numbers. The numbers don't lie. Check the viewing. The numbers don't lie. Anytime it's about Teresa, the numbers are on point. Anytime it's about anybody else, the folks aren't caring as much. Okay. So I said Jackie probably dances in front of the mirror at home. She's so excited about being connected to Teresa right now for her own reasons, right? And in that, Jackie's saying to the ladies that she's also just feeling, I guess, a ways, or she's upset at the fact that, Margaret would even want to hurt Dolores by exposing that text. And, Jennifer Aydin was just like, girl, Margaret don't care nothing about her and Dolores' feelings, and she ain't told no lies. She said Margaret has an agenda, and she absolutely does. Did Margaret look like she was interested in all about Dolores' feelings? We got to see it for ourselves. No, Margaret was on that on that bull. You know what I'm saying? Margaret was operating from an emotional, angry place. She didn't care nothing. She was operating from a selfish place. Like, okay, really? You want to do that? Now I'm about to get you. Again, you want to light that little firecracker? Now I'm about to throw the bomb down. Unreal. But anyway, so to my point with regard to the type of friend in prior reviews that I said Jen Fessler is, she removed herself from the conversation with Teresa and Jackie, and Jen started talking about Marge. And I said exactly why, because Jen Fessler knows how to carry herself. She knows how to be a friend. I feel like if anything, out of everyone in the group, she is the poster child for what a at least close enough example of a friend should be. So you can't deny that. But Jackie then attempts to speak to Dolores. It was a total waste of time. I can remember even before she approached Dolores, she was asking the ladies, like, should I talk to her tonight? And I want to say it was Jen Aydin, because they didn't really show the person, who said, yeah. And I'm thinking, no, you better leave Dolores alone. You better stay as far away. If you know, like I know, from possible, whatever rock you've been hiding under these past few days, go back under that rock and stay there, because Dolores will take that rock and smash you with it at this point. I need you to stay clear still. Okay. And even if you notice too, and maybe it's just the way that Jackie walked, so I might be putting 20 on 10, but even when Jackie arrived, she was like already had like a walk of defeat just coming in. Like, she would have been better off just turning right back around, getting in that car, and just going home. Like, you know what? I can't do this. Like, let me try this another time, because today ain't the day. But whatever, she did it anyway. And, she pretty much screwed herself. And Jackie should know that Dolores was done with her. I know I certainly would have been, because again, that was just too low, especially for it to be such a minute situation. It's like it didn't warrant all of that. So if I really, or if Dolores was really to do something crazy, what would you really have to say? If you go all in on that level for that little thing, okay. Yeah, so I really couldn't fool with Jackie either. And then nevertheless, she continues to dig herself in a deeper hole, because she says she said to Dolores, she doesn't know how she'll ever forgive Margaret's actions for sending the message. Meanwhile, but you want Dolores to forgive you for what you said in the message. Okay, got it. That ain't gonna work, sis. Anyways, let's go ahead, fast forward, get to Teresa and Danielle. They're talking, and Danielle says that when her, Margaret, and Melissa get together, they're not getting together to maliciously talk about Teresa. I said, okay, we must be boo boo the fool, okay? Because Melissa nor Margaret cannot stand Teresa. Neither can Teresa stand them. And at the end of the day, that's all y'all do is talk. While it wasn't malicious at the on set of this episode, you and Melissa were still talking about Teresa nonetheless. Every episode has been about Teresa. Girl, what are you saying? And you really want to act like they just have all these fabulous things to say about Teresa? Child, please. Child cheese. Anyways, so we then get to Jen, Aydin, and Danielle, who start their conversation. So this is the whole meat and potatoes of the episode, of what went down, of trying to figure out what all this mess was about. I will say I did love Danielle's wet hair look in her confession. I thought she looked really pretty. And so I was struggling with this a bit, y'all, because I'm like, well, what really is the point of this all? I really kind of had to push aside the actual example or situation to get to the principle, but I'm going to try to make the best of it that I can. So please feel free to correct me in the comments with what I'm misunderstanding, what I'm misspeaking on. So, hey y'all, hey. So I know you're like, why you on our screen looking crazy in a whole different outfit like we wouldn't notice? I have an explanation for that, right? So when I recorded my first half, that was last night, and my microphone went completely dead, and I'd already recorded a good portion after that. It was stupid late, and I had to get up even at a crazier hour to go to work. So I was like, you know what? I'll just record the next half tomorrow, aka today, and here we are. But at the same time, if y'all really thinking about it, remember we had a chat party, okay? We had a whole party. And what do they do at parties? They outfit change, okay? So I just changed my outfit, okay, for the party. That's it. Now at the same time, this looks even more retarded, so I'm gonna put this back down. But picking up from where I left off, because I know y'all ain't got time for all this in between. So again, as I mentioned before, just I will definitely stand corrected if I'm explaining this part wrong, because I'm like, yeah, what are y'all even talking about? But so Marissa is Danielle's hairstylist. Marissa has a new hair extension line coming out, so Danielle is part of her photo shoot. Jennifer Aydin has also been asked to be a part of that same photo shoot. And so Danielle calls Jennifer just to give her the heads up, and this is according to Jennifer, that Marissa ain't coming out them pockets. Like, if you looking to be paid for this, she ain't trying to pay you. And so Jennifer appreciates the heads up. And I can understand, I can kind of see Danielle doing that. Like, I just want to let you know, like, whoa, like she's not going to pay you. You know what I mean? Like, I can see her and it having like an undertone of shade in there also. But according to Danielle, she pretty much was just trying to put Jennifer on game. Like, look, you got your own hairstylist. They might feel a way about you promoting from my stylist. So you might want to kind of, just tread lightly with that, I guess. So I was like, okay, whatever. So really the issue, though, we can say the principle at the end of the day is that Danielle feels lied on. And obviously Jennifer feels like Danielle's not telling the truth herself. And so that's what causes Danielle to get heated, see red. Now she's calling, Jennifer all types of dirt bags and all this other stuff. She's all up in Jennifer's personal space, which I cannot stand, people being in my personal space. Now, I know this whole debate is probably happening somewhere, somehow, because it definitely did in Potomac. If y'all watch Housewives of Potomac, with this whole when is it right to put hands on somebody or not put hands on somebody, right? So from a street standpoint, people feel how they feel. I get that. From a more moral standpoint, I get that. I operate more on the moral standpoint because it's like at this age and stage anyway, I'm too grown and old to be trying to, or old enough, because I'm not old, to be trying to go to jail for anybody or get into fights with anybody. Like, I just think that's personally ridiculous. I understand that when you see red, it just kind of is what it is. But, you still got to learn to control yourself at the end of the day. We are made up of a different world with different people, so everybody feels not so much. Not going to get into that whole debate because I know we spent seasons worth in Potomac about that, and that's still an ongoing thing. But at any rate, I think if anything, I definitely would have reacted like, yo, you need to get up out my face. Like, get up out my face. Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, what happened from there? Again, I personally, probably would have walked away because I know I have a lot to lose, but you just never know what you'll do in a situation, in all fairness, right? So I'll leave it at that. So from there, Jennifer Aydin decides to push Danielle, right, to get her up out her personal space, of which, oh my God, that thing happened so quickly. Like, if you blinked, you missed it because Danielle's reflexes were so quick and so strong. She ended up smashing a glass drink that she had in her hand in Jennifer's face. Luckily, Jennifer didn't get busted up or anything like that. But I was like, oh my God, that was some serious force, y'all. Like, that was no joke. Like, I think in a slight flash, Danielle was showing us she might have some hands, but that's just me, whatever. And so, from there, we have, folks just now trying to break it up. And Danielle's husband, comes and grabs her and is walking away. And he turns to Jennifer Aydin and says, look, Jennifer, y'all are supposed to be friends. And I'm like, well, sir, that's the thing. They're not friends. Like, I don't know where you've been at or what rock you've been under, but you need to do your homework. I mean, you live with this lady and you don't really know what time it is. They never really saw it for each other like that. So, okay. And so Danielle's walking through Teresa's home to get out, to leave. And as she's walking through, Bill Aydin is sitting there, Jennifer's husband, and she just starts going off at the mouth, which I felt was totally disrespectful because you're talking about this man's wife to him. And furthermore, you have other spectators there looking at you, watching you act a fool and make a fool of yourself. And then also, I feel like Danielle always gives like straight dude energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, just so hardcore. And it's like, girl, you're feminine. Like, be the flower that you are and handle that a different way. There could have been a cuter way, a more classier way to kind of go about that, right? I just was like, again, yeah, it was a no for me on so many levels because I just felt like she was given that BDE, I guess, as folks would say. And I've heard men mention before that they don't like women that act like dudes, and I understand what they mean by that. You know what I'm saying? Um, I think most people tend to like a lady that acts like a lady. Nobody said don't be upset. Nobody said don't get mad. But she got that bass in her voice said, you know what I'm saying? She's a bitch. I'm like, girl, like you have to bring that all the way down. So I don't know, y'all. Y'all have to let me know, who do you think was right? Who do you think was telling the truth? Who do you think wasn't? Because I will honestly say to you guys, last night I thought I knew. And then once I sat on it and thought about it, I was like, well, maybe I don't. I don't really know, right? I really don't know. Like, I'm stuck in the middle. If I had to pick, though, I would say that I don't know if Danielle's being honest. Because again, I said it before and I'll say it again. I just don't trust her. And I don't like the way that she's been moving this season. We see how she treats people and just how wayward she's been, as it relates to these ladies just this season and even in the season past. And, I'll give you an example from this season, like when, she claims that she loves Teresa and Teresa's her friend, and you had the opportunity to speak to Teresa at your home about whether or not Teresa set you up, but yet you waited to do that in front of everybody else. So I don't know if you could get golden stars from the other ladies or if you just wanted to have your camera time, a moment, but none of that should matter when you are a true, authentic friend, right? You don't care about none of that. Like, you're going to do the right thing. So I don't see it for her at all. So I also feel like in this particular episode, I don't know if y'all noticed, I could very well be reading too much into it, but when she was riding home in the car with her husband, Danielle was giving me guilty energy. Like she looked a little too perturbed, a little too upset, a little too bothered. Like, oh, if Marissa finds out, oh God, what am I do? Like, oh, how am I fix that? Oh gosh. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I felt, right? So let me know what y'all thought. Y'all might see it another way. Some of y'all might say, well, maybe she really was just that shocked. And she could have been, but I just don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't believe you. You need more people. That's how I feel about Danielle. Then she says to her husband, they're everything that Jen Aydin wants to be as it relates to their relationship, I guess, with, Jen and Bill, their relationship being off, so to speak. And I'm like, girl, what? Like, ain't nobody thinking about y'all. Like, since when do we care about you and your husband's relationship? Like, we barely pay y'all any attention, okay? Couples goals, you are not. Granted, I don't follow nobody's couples goals but my own, but I'm just saying, since it's a thing, or at least it used to be, what are you speaking? If anything, I know that the conversation has been maybe Jennifer Aydin has always been jealous of Melissa and Joe's relationship. If I had to see that more, I would see that from that angle and maybe more reasons why that could be. But you and your husband, girl, no ma'am. Okay, no ma'am. So, anyways, y'all gotta let me know what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? Whose side are you on? Hit me with some other stuff that I might have missed this episode that stood out and jumped out to y'all. But can I say, listen, when I saw the viewership on this video, like I about lost my mind. I was like, say what now? Oh my God. So thank y'all for taking the time. I can't express it enough because again, I really just do this for fun. So to know that even a couple of people watch, I've been grateful for that. But then for the numbers to just kind of jump the way that they did, so that means more people are watching. That's really cool. That's really cool, and I appreciate that. And then the subscribers. Last I checked, I was at 33, and I know some of y'all are like, "Okay, girl, I have several seats. Not that deep, but it is for me." Because listen, with 33 people, I could have like a little intimate party on my back deck, and even that would be too many people. You know what I'm saying? So that is so dope to me. And I thank y'all so, so, so much. I am extremely grateful. I really hope that y'all will return. And just again, listen, our difference of opinions is what makes the world go round. But I do ask that you please keep it respectful because this ain't that type of party. Okay. This is a lighthearted, fun loving, we move on when the party's over type situation. Right. So just please. Okay, please, I ask because I know how to work these fingers and get you up out of here. All right. So until then, y'all, I thank y'all again for your time and just us being on one accord to just watch something that we enjoy too, for whatever the reason. So I will definitely be back again next week to do it all over again for you. So I know that y'all are watching. And that's it, y'all. Until then, stay up, stay blessed, and I'm out. Peace.